I have no idea what's going on with this shit. I really don't. I had it all fixed. I'm gonna have to take this computer to a technician. I'm not certain. It shouldn't happen. One of the settings is not correct, and I'm not gonna spend 3 days on the computer. Anyway, we're gonna be doing 6/8 today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have the sheet? Here we go. First sheet, number 1, 6/8, reading 101. Now I know that you know how to read this somewhat, but there's a lot of different interpretations to this. Hold on. Robert, if we get booted again, I'm going to need to set my computer, my other computer up, so I don't know what's going to go on. We're doing 4 days this week. This should be fine. Okay. All right, solo number 101, 6/8. We're counting. Hello, Paul Davis. How are you? Paul Davis. Why does that sound familiar? Do I know you, Paul? We've been having some issues, computer issues here, or YouTube issues. I don't know. We've been getting booted. But you don't have my email, so you don't have the PDF sheet. If you want the PDF sheet, you're going to have to email me. Here's my email. So if you email me, I'll put you on my mailing list and I will send you the PDFs. Today we're working with 6/8, very straight up 6/8, and then I've taken the same figure and made it rudimental. And then after we get to that point, what we're going to do, we're going to take other variations as the same thing. Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, email me. I'll send you the the PDFs later, okay? Now, 6/8, 6 beats to a measure. Each eighth note receives 1 count or 1 beat. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to take the first measure. 6 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second measure. 5 eighth notes and 1 eighth note rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I could take that same figure and play it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm not thinking cut time or anything like that. I'm thinking 4/4 time. The whole measure now turns into 4/4. Okay. Now let's go to the second line. You follow me there, Robert? I'm sorry you don't have the email, the PDFs. All right, line 3, eighth note rest, 2 eighth notes. Eighth note rest, 2 eighth notes. So you have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Second measure, 2 eighth notes, an eighth note rest. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 eighth notes. 2, 3. So now I'm going to play it up tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Step and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it, guys? All right, it's a simple pattern. You know what? Let me skip this and go to 102, because we're gonna do the same measures, same rhythmic patterns, but we're gonna implement rudiments. Are you a rudimental? How you doing, Seth? Are you a rudimental drummer, Paul? I mean, we're all rudimental drummers, but I mean, I'm talking like drum corps kind of thing. All right, first reading 6/8, 102. We took the first measure of the regular 6/8 reading without the rudiments, and here's what we have. The first measure: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the straight ahead, no. Let me see what you're saying here. Easy do. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add some flams to this. So if I add a flam to the first measure, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flam accents. If I go to the second measure, I'm implementing a flam tap, a Swiss Army triplet rather, and a flam tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's go over that. Well, that's good, Paul. But now what you have to do is I'm putting together a book for all the students. If they become a member of my website, which is mattpatellallivelessons.com, you'll get a PDF, either the stick control book formulas or the syncopation formulas with your registration, okay? That's mattpatellallivelessons.com. If you register, become a paid-for member, you'll receive one or the other, whichever one you want, okay? Now, I'm working on rudiments, the basic 40, with the level system. How you doing, Paul? Do we all understand what the level system is, Paul? Did you ever hear of that? I mean, we have two Pauls in here. Mr. Davis, I'm going to call you Mr. Davis. You ever work with the level system? You know, sitting down at the drum set is just not ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah. Anybody can do that. Did you, all right, the level system. The first measure, we're on solo number 102, Paul. Seth, you there? On 102? So I put some flams in there. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, well, the level system is the way you play, whether you realize it or not. There's all different kind of wackos out there teaching all kinds of crazy shit. And when you're playing, or when you're playing the drum set or a snare drum, or when you're playing a drum pad, it's all the same. It's the laws of physics. If you watch Jojo Meyer, whatever his name is, his DVD, you'll see the level system is, for example, let me just give you a demonstration of, say, a little kid, say 10 years old, picks up the drumsticks. When he picks up the drumsticks, he's going to grab them like this, which is natural, okay? And what he'll do, and you say, do what I do, okay? And you're saying you're going like this. The kid will actually try a little tight, but that's okay. Then you say, okay, do this. The kid will do it. Most definitely do it. That's the level system. All right, we're going to get to 102, all right, in a second. So the level system is when you're playing, if I'm playing at one volume, I want to nail an accent, I got to get my hands in position. Upstrokes. Let me go over it rough. I hope you come back so I could explain this at another time. But I'm going to briefly explain it. Sticking heights, number one. You have about 18 inches, which is a full stroke. 18 inches. Okay, now you have a downstroke, or you have the sticking heights. This is about 8, 9 inches off the drum. And that's going to give you a different sound. If I'm hitting from here, I'm going to get a pretty loud sound. If I'm hitting from here, I'm not going to get such a loud sound. But if I hit from here, I'm going to get a lighter sound. That's sticking positions. If you're doing a paradiddle, a lot of guys will approach a paradiddle. Right, left, right, left, left. Well, yeah, the sticking pattern is fine, but the motion is incorrect. you know, you played the paradiddle, but if you want to move on that paradiddle, you got to pay your dues to something like a downstroke, an upstroke, tap, tap. Ah, Jesus. Nice, Matt. Don't do that, Ron and Mr. Davis. So you have, that's a paradiddle. That's your levels. I have a downstroke, an upstroke, and taps. You practice a paradiddle like that, that's the motion you use when you play up-tempo. You're just reinforcing what is natural, and you will play it. Okay, let's get to 102. Look at the first measure. I took, instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what I did was I played some flam accents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what you want to practice, nice and slow. Down, up, tap. Down, up, tap. Now the second measure, I put the first 3/8 notes, that one as a Swiss Army triplet. 1, 2, 3, and then 5, 6, 5, 6. See that? You see that, Seth? You see that, Paul? Number 1. Oh, my goodness. So actually, the 102 is the same notation. However, I added some flams. You see that, Paul? Robert? Now remember, I told you I'm running this special. If you become a paid-for member, okay, on my site, you will get your choice, free. The PDFs for the stick control book formula, which costs $25. You got it, Robert? All right, good. What I'm going to do, we're going to take. You guys understand that, all right? Look at the unusual situation on the third measure. You look at the third measure. You have a flam tap and a Swiss Army triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What you want to do is keep going over and over and over again. Nice and slow at first. 1, 2, that's actually an alternating flam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is up, and you're down. They're all, the placement of the accents is going to dictate to you the, the levels. Let's go to line 7. Okay? Line 7, you have a flam accent and a flam tap. 4 and 5, 6. 1. Get on line 7. Or if you like line 8, which one would you prefer? Line 7 or line 8, guys? Line 7 or line 8? Mr. Davis, we do work with funk, we work with rock patterns, we work with jazz, and we work with Latin. Today's agenda was for the reading. So you might have, come at it an unusual time. Line 7 and then 8, all right. 7, okay, Paul. How about you, Robert? There's like 10 people watching and only 4 people are in the chat. Unreal. All right. Let's take the first rudiment, line 7. You have a flam accent, flam tap, and then 2 singles. And you want to do that over and over again. But if you do it over and over again, what happens to the right, the second part of it? Let me show you. You got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then you have 4, and now 5 has to come up. 5, 6. You're in position to hit it again. So you want to just continually do the first measure. Oh, you do. You said you just started to play the drums. You play classical. Are you classically trained, Paul? Anyway, I'm doing the line 7, the first measure over and over again. You have a flam accent, then you have a flam tap, and then 2 singles, 5 and 6 and. But you see, if you do measure by measure, the levels are going to change. Violin. Oh, okay. We have a young lady who comes here. She's not here today. She had an accordion lesson, believe that. But she plays accordion, she plays bass, she plays guitar and drums. She's going to be here with Seth. Seth is coming here Friday afternoon by 12. Right, Seth? Paul Davis, that violin, Joe Morello started with the violin. Ha! All right. Hey, Seth, Paul, may I ask how old you may be? Violin, classically trained. Really? Bach. You play Bach? Interesting. Do you play Bach? I'll give you an exercise. You're 61. You're young. Okay. Where are you from, Paul? You're 61, and are you playing violin professionally? Have you ever played drums? You said you just got a snare drum. We have to talk. I'm interested in the violin thing. Not so much for me to play the violin, but the musical background that you do have and how to relate it to playing a rhythmic instrument. Seattle, oh boy. Okay. Well, here, do you have Skype by any chance, Paul? I have, Skype is this. Just download that and we could talk face to face. My Skype contact is this. Well, why didn't you? Why didn't you play the drums? The violin, man, that's a tough instrument. What I highly recommend to all my students, if it's possible, they can't see the relationship from a piano, study the piano, not to sit and do a concert at Carnegie Hall, but to understand the movement of the chords, understand the melodies and the relationship of the chords to the melodies and the rhythm. It all comes from the piano. Okay? And the more you know musically, if you play Bach, for example, you ever work with Bach's inventions? Anyway, let's talk on Skype. Let me give these guys their lesson. We're on line 7, the first measure. We have a flam accent. 1, 2, 3. Now we're coming into a flam tap. And now that 5 has to come up. 5, 6. Why does the 5 come up? Because I'm in position to nail the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. You see that? Paul, Seth, Robert. Okay, second measure. You have a tap, then you have a flam tap. All right, now the tap stays down. You're going to have, for the flam tap, it's going to be 2, and has to come up, 3. Then you have a Swiss triplet. 4 has to come up, 5 has to come up, 6 tap. So you have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. You see it? Robert, you know what? It seems that, you say you can play these, and I believe you, believe me. What I need to do is see some evidence, though. I want to see a video, if you can do that. You only have a camera on the phone. You could do that on the drum pad if you can. Let me hear you play a couple lines or a couple measures with the levels. How's that sound? How about you, Paul? Hey, Paul, that pad came in. It's got a tail on it. I don't know, it has a tail. Like, what do you do? Pull the tail or something? I don't know what you do with that. I never seen one like that, Paul. Paul, make me a video of say, line 8 or line 10, the first 2 measures or measure by measure. Because what you're doing there is you're applying the rudiments like it was in 150 rudimental solos. Okay? Seth, you're coming to Judgment Day come Friday. Marcio, you there? Well, sure, it's a work in process. You know, I watch some of the videos that I get, and we talk about preliminary steps or movement before you execute, which I totally disagree with. I mean, you know, if you're playing a paradiddle, for example, you know, I get a lot of guys starting a paradiddle here. They go like this. They're here and they move it up and they come 1 and 2 and 3. That's the preliminary. Or if they're going to play single strokes, 1 E and they're like this, 1 E and That's all that preliminary motion. You're never going to obtain speed that way. All right, if I'm playing single strokes, it comes down from one spot. There's an illusion which occurs. If I'm going like this, look at that stick. I'm not doing nothing but throwing it down. All that is, if I'm doing 16th notes, the left is there in a different place. My right's doing this, my left's doing this, no matter how fast I play. It does look like I'm seesawing, which I'm not, because I don't have time when I play it up tempo to wait for the stick to come back. It's going to come back. Same thing with the left. It's on the E and the duh. It's coming back. It's always in position to attack. I'm going to open up my left hand like a karate chop, okay? So you can see I'm not lifting. Come on, karate chop. The level system, a good exercise for the level system, you don't want speed, you want correctness. 1 and 2 and 3. Hit 1 and 3 of the accent. 1 and then I gave you a shitload of PDFs utilizing the stick control book as accents. Remember the first line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Left hand. 1, 2. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. There's no down and movement like this. That's bullshit. If you watch the elbow, watch. Down, up, down. The elbow comes in. Not down, up, out like this. That is the totally off-the-wall interpretation. Listen, I only could do a half hour right now. But tonight, 7 o'clock. What's R-U-I-N? What is that? Room. Oh, I ruin it? All right, I'm not going to touch nothing. Oh, okay, not a problem. That's what it's for. All right, listen, Mr. Davis, email me. You have my email there. I'll send you the PDFs of today's lesson. And we're doing lessons on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Starting next month, though, we're taking a little break for a while because I've been doing 4 days a week. All right, all this time I'm going to do only Monday, and then we're going to do 2 days a week. Come start in the months of July and August. Okay. And I understand. Thanks, Paul. But I didn't touch it until I talked to you. Any questions on anything, gentlemen? Well, Robert, send me. Just do it slow. Do a measure or two. Just pick 2 measures of the rudimental stuff. Okay, I will. Seth, you're welcome. Marcio. And all these people are watching and nobody's in the chat. I don't understand that. If you have a phone, you still can get into the chat. They're afraid of saying, bleh. Mercy. Okay, I'm going to be back tonight, 7 p.m. Okay, gentlemen? And I believe Stacy will be here too as well. Hey, Seth, are you driving or taking a plane?